Welcome back, YouTubers, to another TNA Impact Wrestling review with us. What the fuck are you wearing?
Ka-ching!
You're definitely not wearing ka-ching, I know that for a
No,
fact.
I'm wearing a hat and American-style clothing.
So, TNA Impact Wrestling decided to give us Go Fight Night, and Open Fight Night, I should say, not Go Fight Live. And we've decided to give you NJ dressed as an American. Take that how you will, but either way, subscribe above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this Open Fight Night edition of TNA Impact down in that comment section below.
And you should contact us in the link in the description box below.
Yes, indeed. You know I'm Mr. Parkin, and you know this guy sitting next to me. Even though he's in his American clothing, he's still very much a British Fistian. It's NJ!
What's up?
What's up, indeed? And make sure that cap doesn't fall off, brother. Maybe you need to tighten that up a little bit. Just, yeah, tighten that up a little bit. Yeah, you got it. You got it on now. So we got the Open Fight Night for TNA. It was going to be interesting to see. It's going to be quite a difficult review for us to do because it's not a traditional show. It was more of those shows that they're trying to go. This is trying to get ratings, or they're trying to appeal to more casual fans, in my opinion, rather than smart marks such as ourselves. So it's quite obvious the fact that smart marks such as us would probably not like the show as much as, say, a casual fan does, who is just viewing it from a fan standpoint, if you know what I'm saying.
I was going into this quite interesting because obviously anything can happen, anything can happen, anyone can face anyone, stuff like that. I was really interested in what they were going to deliver in this show, so I was really up for this show.
I admit it was intriguing, but I think I went away from it thinking not as what I thought it would be. But there we go. We'll get onto the show itself though, and we'll give our thoughts on it towards the end. We open up the show with Hogan and his champions. No, not TNA's champions. His champions, brother, because he's the company, brother, basically deciding which title will be defended. And it turns out that the tag titles were going to get defended. Hogan puts over Joe and Magnus as a great tag team, and let the fighting begin!
The best there ever is, or something cool. He really lifted them up. I was like, yeah, they're the best.
It's very rare Hulk Hogan puts someone over. I'm just going to say that.
That's my opinion, yes.
But anyway, that was, I guess, a logical way to start the show. Hogan explaining what this whole Open Fight Night thing was, explaining what was basically going to be our main event match and what titles were going to be defended tonight.
It was interesting, a good way to start, obviously, with the champion being a big thing in TNA and then being open, saying that any of you three could be putting your title on the line. Definitely got us warmed up for the show. Yeah, and the official opener, the actual first match, we had Devon coming out saying that the TV title is now going to be defended every week, and he challenges none other than his Dudleyville partner, whatever you want to go, ex-partner. His brother, testify! Bully Ray, exactly. So we got Bully Ray versus Devon for the TV title in the opening segment of the show. Get the table! No,
there are no tables. There are no tables. I can't do it. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. But we got Devon versus Bully Ray for the TV title. Yeah, the action starting off outside the ring. The fans were quite into this match, weren't they? They really enjoyed this one.
The thing about this is that I'm really glad they did this, even though it didn't deliver it the best way. Yeah, Bully Ray on the mic beforehand, saying why he doesn't deserve to face him, doesn't like him, had to carry him all these years. Really bring this match to a real feeling. And I was thinking, yes, Bully Ray mic's good, but I just didn't really feel it to be that strong. But he was saying how he shouldn't face Devon. The match, I'm going to give it this. Devon just wanted to go at it, go crazy, show that he is a fighting champion, and it did warm up the match.
And let's put it this way, considering the TV title has been a joke title in the last couple of months and over the last year, this was a nice way to get the TV title on TV and actually get it, get it meaning as if it means something, didn't it? I think that's what I took from this segment.
Well, for Devon to go up against Bully, a smaller guy now, going up against a bigger guy now, it definitely gives the title meaning because he's going to get someone that is a lot bigger and better than him. So yes, it is a good way of starting the TV title to mean something again. And
Devon gets the victory with the spine buster. I kind of think Devon needs maybe a little bit more of an impactful finisher because I really didn't think the match was going to be over there. But I mean, at least the segment did something good for the TV title. We get that backstage interview with Bully Ray, with Aries saying that Bully Ray had to pull his tights last week, and I imagine they're going to try and go somewhere with this feud. So at least they used the segment to at least try and further this Austin Aries Bully Ray feud as well.
I'll say that it's just that the way Bully Ray lost, I didn't really feel it's doing Bully Ray much justice. She did the right thing, putting Devon over for a future title and after that. But Bully Ray losing like that, I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, but this is Open Fight Night. Anything can happen, brother. We had a backstage interview with Angle telling off Kaz and Daniels, basically saying that don't interfere in my matches. And from what we saw tonight, it seems like they may be turning Angle face.
I just didn't need them interfering in my match. I did not need you. No, stay out of my matches. Yeah, it was all like that. Very heel-like tactics I felt. But obviously, when he was shouting at Kaz and Daniels, who are the heels there, they could be making him face. But at the moment, I just see him staying as a heel at the moment.
We had Jeremy Borash coming out to the ring and calling out Eric Bischoff, basically calling him a prick. And the first thing I noticed about this was there was no name bleeping this week. That was the great thing about the Bischoff thing. Now there was no name bleeping. That kind of just made me think, oh my god, I'm just not getting entertained by this segment.
Well, two things about that then. Number one, the whole rule was no more Bischoff naming, so they should have continued that on this night. But at the same time, Bischoff's last night, probably the last time we're going to hear Eric mention his name, so why not give him one more shot before he leaves?
Yeah, and basically they're kind of trying to use real life heat in storylines on this show. You have Bischoff coming out, and the crowd are all chanting "Wave goodbye" because they all want him to go. It's very obvious. They don't really want his son to be in TNA either. But there we go. You have Buddy Raylo blowing Jeremy Borash, and Bischoff basically gets the pin on Jeremy Borash, which would set up something which happened later on in the night.
It did, and it wasn't much of a match, obviously. It was just Bischoff getting his one over on Borash, who we've said before has had a thing in the past with him. So him getting his final say at this particular moment, it was good. I liked it. Well done, Bischoff.
Mexican America came to the ring for a promo. Why? And out comes Kurt Angle, who disposes Anarchy in about a minute. Why did the Mexican America have to be on this show? Especially, I don't understand why you want to put Mexican America out there. They're not very appealing to a lot of people. A lot of people don't even like Mexican America. Why are they involved with Kurt Angle? I just don't get it.
Coming out and challenging any American to come out, I just thought, okay, this is stupid. And the match didn't go anywhere. But the main thing is, it buried one half of
Hopefully that team will get buried for a good now. After that, we had a segment which I was very much looking forward to. As I'm a very good fan of bringing up young talent as I review the FCW down on my channel in WWE. They had this gut check segment where you could have a young talent trying to earn a contract, and we heard about this last week. And this week it was Alex Silver. Now we got the story of Alex Silver, basically how he got into TNA and how he was the youngest OVW TV champion. He came out with Al Snow, and Al Snow did a pretty good job of putting him over, didn't he?
Al Snow, obviously being the big guy in the past, him being now a manager in this part, building him up. I did like this because it shows that he's got someone working with him, helping him to come into the company in the future.
We want head cheese. We want Alex Silver, don't we? We want new talent. Just a shame Alex Silver had to have his match against Robbie E, and the match only went about 2 minutes. So how can he really impress people if he's only out there in 2 minutes and he's working with a guy who can never really work a match? Apparently the fans decide whether he gets a contract or not. I just felt maybe they could have given him more time or given him a win, to make him look so that people could actually see more of him rather than just a 2 minute match, essentially, against Robbie E.
I look at this, and the fact they used Robbie E for his first match, I just thought this should be a good way of him getting a win, because Robbie E, they're just building him up, like they had him a TV champ for a few months, now they're having him beat this new wrestler. I'm just thinking this would have been a good chance to give him a win, and then just maybe progress from there, not give him a loss to Robbie E, because that's a bad start, even if he does join the company in the future.
I think they need to iron out a couple of things with this whole gut check thing, but I do look forward to seeing if they do bring through new talent, especially in the X Division. I think a guy like Alex Silver, if he brushes up his in-ring skills, could really work in the X Division personally, but there we go. We got Miss Teschmacher coming out, saying that how she pinned Gail Kim last week, and she wants to prove that she is no fluke and wants to prove that she's a legit threat to the Knockouts title. This is a segment which incorporated the open fight night thing, but made sense. I did think this segment was good. The way Brooke challenged Gail Kim, wanted to look legit against her.
Well, out of all the other knockouts they have in TNA, giving a chance to other knockouts that have not really appeared that much, a chance to be in the ring with Gail, not for the top, but a chance to go against Gail and put on a match. I really liked that, and Teschmacher was a good opponent, and I just thought this match went pretty well. It's
very obvious the partnership with Tara has actually improved her ring skills, because before she was just eye candy. Now she can actually wrestle a little bit. And she had a good match with Gail Kim, went about 4 minutes. Brooke Teschmacher gets the win, surprisingly for me, but I imagine this maybe would lead to a future title shot, so I imagine they'd use this segment to try and further on a storyline between Gail Kim and Teschmacher for a sacrifice knockouts title match or something.
In the future, it could be an idea, because more people changing the title, the better it's going to do for your knockouts division. And this match, I was kind of surprised at the end, because it kind of came out of nowhere, because Gail Kim dominated throughout the match, and all of a sudden, it swerves around and she picks up the win. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that was a bit of a quick swerve to give the other challenger the win.
Mm. And then we had a bit of the show, which to me really, really dragged. We had a lot of. You'd think if they did this open fight night, they'd want to be in the ring a lot, but they had a lot of backstage segments in this portion of the show. You had Kaz and Daniels saying that if AJ doesn't show up next week, they're going to let the cat out of the bag on this storyline thing, and a video package of RVD becoming #1 contender, finally getting his shot, and Alex Silver and Bobby Roode had a bit of a thing where Roode kind of put him over, essentially, didn't he?
Okay, gone through each one.
Yeah.
AJ, don't turn up, please, because I want to see what the story is.
Has to move on.
I want to see that happen, yes. AJ, just take a break. Then we have RVD, yes, they're trying to build him up, make him look important for this match, just basically to give Roode the win.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to say that he did come across as very kind of like egotistical, and it was a bit strange because RVD's supposed to be the face, but he's saying, no one better than me, RVD, and it just come across as a little bit to me, but there we go.
And then the last one, yeah, I kind of liked it because at the end you have Roode doing the low blow thing, showing the hillside to him, welcoming him to the company and leaving. I just thought that was very effective for that segment.
Gotcha. Low blowed you, bitch. But the whole interaction between Alex Silver and Roode, it's nice to have Alex Silver sort of get kind of put over by Roode saying, yeah, you got the look, you look like you can do well in the company, but I'm the it factor of professional wrestling, blah, 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 blah. Having Alex Silver be in a segment with Bobby Roode, it's quite a nice way to sort of bring him forward. But then it's just a shame that throughout the night we had this like segments with Hogan, didn't we? With the because we're moving on now to the tag title match, and we had these segments with Hogan. He was kind of deciding who should be the tag team title contenders. You had Anderson and Hardy in there. You had ODB and Eric Young, who should have been eliminated by the first persons to be eliminated by it because they were fucking knockouts tag champions. And then you have Kazarian and Daniels in there as well. And we had two of these segments throughout the night, which led on to this segment. And there was one of them like in the Our Main Event section, which really dragged a little bit. Even though it was a little bit entertaining, it really did go on a long time.
Well, what I'm going to say interesting about this is the backstage segments. Each tag team got a say in why they should be in this match. You had Kaz and Daniels not burying, but saying negative points about each team, saying why they're the ones. I like that, very good tactics. And it made them look like the right choice to go into the match, and Hogan definitely agreed. But then his focus went straight on to Jeff and Anderson, which I thought, okay, there's something building up here, and I just liked how that segment went, even though it did go on a bit long. Yeah,
we also had a backstage segment with Joseph Parks and Bully Ray. It looks like they're getting closer with this whole Joseph Parks and Bully Ray thing now. It looks like they're kind of getting closer to actually making something out of this rather than just having these segments every week, which is getting a tad redundant. Yeah,
the thing about this is that again, I'm not really a fan of Joseph Park rubbish, but the fact this Buddy Ray one actually is better than all the ones he's had together because Buddy Ray was like, "Don't touch me. I don't know what's I'm doing. Don't touch my shoulder," or I'm going to get lawyers and that. It was very entertaining. I like this, and it's probably going to hint something next week, probably, and then finally we may get a feud or just a match or just something hinting in the future.
Yeah, but I suppose Buddy Ray's in a rivalry of Aries now, so maybe they're going to save it for Summerversary or something. Who really knows? We go on to this tag team title match then. So we had all the segments during the night kind of hyping it up, even though some of it did drag. We had Magnus and Samoa Joe in the ring, Anderson and Hardy in the ring, Kaz and Daniels in the ring. And it did seem like the stage was set to have Kaz and Daniels go, but it seems like they went, okay, we'll go through the match first. They had Anderson and Hardy versus Magnus and Samoa Joe. Now, I like the fact that TNA have kind of said, well, we're going to, in our main event match, we're going to put the tag team titles, something which, like, say, a WWE doesn't show. It's good counterculture. I mean, you get something different with the TNA main event match.
The main thing out about this match is that Anderson and Hardy, they were possibly going for the world title. Then all of a sudden they're pairing up and going to the tag titles. I'm just thinking, okay, jump from one thing quickly down to another. That's the only disappointment. But then pairing up two fan favourites together, going against a big tag team that you want to put over for a later feud. I thought that was a good, nicely built for this match.
To be honest, it does make sense to put guys like Anderson and Hardy in this position because they are guys who TNA would consider draws, so it makes sense to put them in that main event spot. I mean, you had a pretty decent match between these two. You had Anderson and Hardy basically putting over Magnus and Samoa Joe, which it puts the team over well. Then you have you showed Anderson and Hardy's lack of cohesion, which could lead to some kind of feud. Maybe Anderson turning heel, and then you had Joe winning with the rear naked choke. And then after the match, Kaz and Daniels attack the tag champs, and you think that could be a feud. And I've heard that match has actually been announced as Slammiversary, along with AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. I've heard from anonymous sources.
Well, the fact that they hinted the Kazarian Daniels thing throughout the night, that they're the right challengers, I do look forward to them probably getting a tag title shot because there are the team that I felt worthy for this title match.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like the best tag team for that. So it's just a shame they got something with AJ Styles going as well, which is a bit strange. But well, there we go. So not a bad main event match actually. It's just a shame it wasn't the main event. We had the whole Flair Bischoff send off thing as the main event, didn't we? And I think we all know why this was the main event when we get towards the end, pretty much.
Pretty much. But right now, Americans, I need my double cheeseburger and large Coke.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this. You know, I will remember Bischoff as the guy because we had all these remembering Bischoff segments, and I just want to say something. I remember Bischoff as the guy that took TV to the next level in WCW in terms of professional wrestling, but then he came to TNA and really didn't help the product at all, and became responsible for the whole TNA going after ratings thing and really hurting the pay-per-views, in my opinion. A lot of that is down to his TV philosophy.
You could say that, but I remember Bischoff, his great GM-ness in WWE, bringing an Elimination Chamber, being the best heel GM there was, then coming to TNA, forming that faction, and it didn't go that great, but now it's came to the end of his wrestling in TNA career.
Yeah, and wrestling career altogether, really. But he's also made the NWO. He was a success in WCW, meaning that, so WCW beat Raw in the ratings for 86 or something straight weeks. So there we go. I mean, he is a success story, but he's also a bit of a down story in his backstage politics and all that kind of shit he's got into. So we'll get into the send-off. We had Ric Flair come into the ring and basically comes out of Immortal. And there was a lot of heat in this segment, wasn't there? The fans were going, where's good, bye, boo, we don't care. And they basically give him a Rolex, and because Bischoff comes out and they give him a gift, and yeah.
Gave him a royalty chair. He had his group surrounding him.
Yeah.
The thing about this, I would have worn a leather jacket to show support for this, but the segment did not deliver. It did not feel like a proper good send-off. Yes, they had the most crowd reaction of the night, but I just didn't feel that this was a great way to finish the show.
I think the problem really is this whole thing has been done to get over Garrett Bischoff, and I think a lot of people tune out of TNA because they're fed up of this incessant push of Garrett Bischoff, who really hasn't got the talent to really pay the bills in the sense that he is in this main event slot, and he really shouldn't be. And you have Garrett coming out with Jeremy Borash, who got embarrassed by Bischoff previously in the night, and some baby faces, including mostly Machine Guns, RVD, blah, 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 says that Bischoff is going to be the first inductee into the Shed of Shame, and they put him into the Shed of Shame, and basically Bischoff, on his last day in TNA, gets covered in human excrement. All to get Garrett Bischoff over, who no one gives a shit about.
A few things I want to say about this. Number one, the WWE did the take out the trash thing, so I guess this is TNA's way of getting rid of Bischoff. Then putting over Garrett, again, this is an appalling way, because even when he shot Bischoff in that thing, he was all like, the crowd was like...
It was always going to happen though, wasn't it? You knew this whole thing was done to get Garrett Bischoff over.
I just thought this was appalling, not a great way to finish, but I'm going to say this now, Bischoff, because of what you've done in the WWE and some parts in TNA, I think I'm a hat for you.
Don't forget WCW as well, so he did his best
WCW,
work.
Oh yes. Just start.
But there we go. I mean, the main event segment, I mean, it had a kind of nice payoff because you had JB in there as well. The whole getting covered in crap thing. I can see why they went with it. It's just that all to get Garrett over, who really, what can he offer the company? Why they're putting all this effort behind Garrett, and it's not really getting over. It's not really working, and they're really trying. You can tell they're really trying. With segments like this, for fuck's sake, Bischoff is going off TV. It seems like, and now so Garrett Bischoff is getting this massive push, and no one really gives a shit. And it's one of the reasons why A, the ratings are quite low in my opinion, and B, why people are tuning out.
And after this finishing of TNA, I'm not going to tune out for watching TNA altogether, but I also tuned out as soon as the segment started.
That's right, yeah. But wow. What did you think of the show overall? Not the Go. I keep saying Go Fight Live for some reason. The Open Fight Night. What did you think of this Open Fight Night? Your honest thoughts.
Going in, interesting because obviously it could make anything happen, but I don't know. I just didn't really feel that it delivered in the best way. I didn't feel that, apart from the knockouts, the TV title in some way, the tag in some way, but overall I wasn't really entertained by this show. It put on good matches, but I just wasn't entertained.
I think the problem with this show is there was a lot of backstage segments which really doesn't help your feel of the show. I'm all for. I tried to be very open-minded during the show, but I found myself thinking some segments made sense, Some didn't. They tried to incorporate the whole open fight night thing in there with some segments, and in some segments it did work, but in some segments it really didn't. The main event to me, all this focus on Garrett Bischoff in the main event scene is killing my buzz right now about TNA. The tag title thing was pretty good, I thought. The Knockouts title thing, it's nice to see someone new in the Knockouts title. They did further some feuds along, despite how little attention they probably put on those compared to the Go Fight Live. I'm saying it again. I'm botching John Laurinaitis style here. I mean, open fight night. So overall, I really, I don't know. I mean, I think the question is, the killer question is, do you look forward to the next one? Because I really do not.
There was things that could be hinted next week, like the Kazarian Daniels thing, which could be interesting next week. But there was nothing that really made me think this is going to be great. Seeing on to next week, so it's not really gave me the feeling of the next week's show. Not really.
I guess, or the next month's show even. I guess we'll have to see what the ratings say. And with the NFL draft going on, I doubt the ratings will be that good. So that won't be a very good indication. So I guess we'll have to wait till next month before we actually get a proper rating for this TV show.
That's the way to look at it. And plus, I bet people were more entertained by the NFL than this.
Probably, who knows? Some people getting drafted from team to team is more entertaining than TNA. I'm not sure about that personally, but there we go. As I do not care about American football and dislike the video if you want for that. I just don't give a shit about American sports. There we go. So comment your thoughts on this edition of TNA Impact Wrestling Open Fight Night down in the comment section below. We're not giving it a grade because really can't. And so just let us know your thoughts. It'll be interesting to see what you thought of the show compared to what we did. Because it was a really hard show to review, wasn't it? Because you had to go through so much stuff, and it kind of doesn't match with how we usually review shows, and it was difficult. I found this probably one of the most difficult reviews I've had to do. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you just nodded.
Yeah, I just can't believe I had to see ODB and Eric Young tonight. Oh my god. But anyway, yes, let's wrap this up.
Go on, wrap it up.
Okay, people, thank you very much for tuning to this video. It's been a good show for Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Till next time, people, goodbye.